Let me take you back to the distant past. It's 1996, the year Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson began his wrestling career, the year the Spice Girls released their debut single, the year the world was introduced to a little game called Pokemon. Oh, and Lucy Lawless was kicking ass on a weekly basis on a little show called Xena Warrior Princess, which was just entering its second season. Welcome back to Warrior Princess Playback, and if you enjoyed the classic 2000 film Miss Congeniality, have I got an episode for you. Here She Comes, Miss Amphipolis was the 11th episode of the second season and features Xena going undercover in a beauty pageant. I'd always assumed they'd borrowed the plot from Miss Congeniality, but the episode actually predates the movie by a couple of years. We open with our two heroines taking a romantic stroll on the beach. Like a move straight out of a rom-com, Gabrielle falls dramatically over some tracks in the sand. Xena thinks the tracks were made by a fully armed war wagon, and Gabrielle doesn't care because she's found some clams and she's going to eat them.
I know what I'm having for dinner.
Don't look now, but here comes a horde of scantily clad women. There are men chasing them, but honestly, I feel like the urgency of this moment is undermined somewhat by the slow motion boob jiggle. Anyway, don't worry because Xena and Gabrielle are here to save the day. Look at this excellent improvisation and teamwork. I'm gonna go ahead and give this my Smackdown of the Week award, even though we're only 2 minutes into the episode. Now that the women are saved, Xena's friend Salomonius shows up to explain this week's plot.
You sent urgent word for us to come and see some underdressed, overdeveloped bimbos in a beauty contest.
Pageant. It's called a pageant.
I really enjoy rewatching the episodes with Salomonius. He was originally a character in Hercules and even featured in some of the same episodes as Xena. He's just the perfect mix of charisma, cunning, and cowardice, and always provides some good comedic moments.
Contest pageant. It's a feeble excuse for men to exploit and degrade women.
Wrong as usual, Miss Sunshine. Since when do we ever need an excuse?
Salomonius explains that the 3 warlords who signed a treaty on that beach a year ago all have girlfriends in the pageant, and it seems like someone is trying to kill the contestants to start a war by proxy. Wouldn't it be great if we could send someone undercover to investigate and keep an eye on things?
Meet Miss Amphipolis.
Not wanting to reveal her identity, they sneak Xena inside wearing a cloak. But Gabrielle already has a disguise. Did she just have that fabulous turban packed away for a rainy day? Of course she did! In our last Xena review, I referred to Gabby as a super extra theatre kid. And if you didn't believe me, you will after today. She has way too much fun hamming up her performance as Xena's sponsor, the Marquesa.
From what I just hear, I am the lot better sponsor than any of you.
Xena and this one contestant exchange suspicious looks. Something fishy about her? This other contestant slams right into Xena and insults her for being too tall.
Watch it, Claude. Can't you see from up there?
Burn. So right away we have a couple of good suspects for who might be stirring up trouble. Next, Xena is introduced to fellow contestant Miss Massini and quickly exposes an elaborate plot to kill her. Xena saves the day with a blink and you'll miss it chakram throw, then lets Salomonius take the credit. We're then introduced to the 3 warlords who signed the peace treaty and the lord who organised the pageant. Gabrielle cuts in to butcher a French accent and brag about Miss Amphipolis.
Clear the runway, cause my contestant is going to wipe the floor with all of you.
Meanwhile, Xena hits the steam baths. The rude girl from before is there too, and let's just say she's not gunning for Miss Congeniality herself.
And all I can say is Miss Amphipolis better not get in my way. Thanks for the warning.
Everyone leaves pretty well as soon as Xena arrives, and Xena quickly discovers she's been locked in. The pageant has begun and the contestants are introduced. I particularly love that the drag queen contestant is called Miss Artifice. Nice touch there. Xena arrives just in the nick of time to be introduced. And what is this shake and go monstrosity on her head? I have watched enough RuPaul's Drag Race to know that this is an unforgivable wig. Just no. Meanwhile, an unseen enemy has found Xena's armor and taken it. Dun dun dun! Xena tells the others that she thinks she knows who tried to steam her like a clam, and we see her confront Miss Artifice. Wig snatch! This scene is actually super impressive considering it was written and filmed in the 90s. Turns out Miss Artifice was just trying to scare away Xena because she was scared Xena would reveal her secret.
This is a chance to use a part of me most people usually laugh at. Or worse, the part I usually have to hide.
Miss Artifice asks to leave the pageant privately rather than being revealed publicly, but Xena refuses.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
May the best person win.
Meanwhile, back to this merry band of misogynists. Blah, blah, blah. You need to bring in more guards or I'm bringing in my soldiers. If he's bringing in soldiers, I'm bringing in soldiers. Me too, because I'm also manly and powerful. Gabby casually suggests that they all think of the contestants as human beings, and they're all like, LOL, good one. Good talk. Well, except this one guy.
That asking stuff, that works for you?
Every time.
Maybe she's starting to get through to them. Or maybe they're rubbing off on her a bit too, because suddenly she's giving Xena a pep talk.
The power, the passion, the desire to win.
Gabrielle, we're not here to win.
The next scene has the girls rehearsing a musical number with Salmonius and knocking each other over. Hey look, a skeezy warlord is here, and he thinks Miss Amphipolis looks familiar. He can't quite place her, which is fair enough, because if he kissed her hand like that when she wasn't in disguise, he probably left with a concussion. Xena breaks character momentarily to grab him by the throat because, well, he earned it, and makes him apologise. In the next scene, the contestants are introduced to a packed audience, and Skeezy Warlord Man does this.
That's Xena, Warrior Princess!
Here comes my favourite plot twist of the episode.
Honey, I'm no princess. I'm a queen.
For some reason, the second the contestants are introduced, it's time to narrow it down to the final 5, which seems weird, but okay. No surprises that the finalists are Xena and the only 4 contestants to have any screen time so far. Me? Oh my god! Xena and Miss Artifice have this cute little moment.
How did you? Why?
I guess we both got our secrets. Thanks for keeping mine.
Up next is the talent competition. Gabrielle wants Xena to sing, but apparently one musical number was enough for this episode.
Which just leaves us one question. What can you do?
Rude. Surprise, surprise, the warlords are arguing again.
I'll make my own declaration. And it'll be war. Well, that goes double for me.
Double war it is then. Gabrielle is tired of their shit.
You are here to celebrate the peace and work together. Now just shut up and do it!
She doesn't calm down much in the next scene where Xena has been given a pretty heinous dress to wear on the runway. No worries, because there's nothing Xena can't do with a knife. You know, this wouldn't be a bad talent for the talent competition. Just saying. And apparently Xena has chosen sword dancing for her talent, which seems a bit on the nose, but okay. Miss Vicini is crying because she thinks the pageant is dumb. Her boyfriend made her enter, and she doesn't know how to tell him she doesn't want to compete. Cue a pep talk from Xena.
But you can change that. Tell him how you feel. You're entitled.
Someone is sawing something, and sawdust is falling down onto the stage. I wonder if that will be important later in the episode. Let's definitely not worry about that right now, because they pushed up the talent event. Miss Vicini, having taken Xena's word to heart, does the harp equivalent of keyboard mashing. Boyfriend seems happy with it, and Salomonius wastes no time with the snark.
Thank you, Miss Massini, for that lovely rendition of whatever that song you just played was.
Now it's time for Miss Cranky to perform, and looks like her number's gonna be a real charmer. Xena is suspicious about the talent event being moved up. Turns out it was that guy's idea. No time to process that important plot information right now because, oh no, Miss Skiros is about to die. Luckily, Xena's here to crash the stage and save the day. Xena then decides to take matters into her own hands by kidnapping all 3 warlords and tying them up under a table. She tricks the host of the pageant into admitting that he was the one behind the sabotage. Turns out he wants another war because his land made so much profit off the last one. I love Xena's faces here while he's threatening her. Like, she has about 500 ways to hurt him, and it's so hard to pick just one.
Trust me. You don't want to make me angry.
A hilariously one-sided fight ensues, and then Gabrielle shows up to finally out her as Xena. Xena! So the war is stopped before it could even begin, and never mind that because it's time to crown the winner. Xena steps out in her usual getup to announce that she's withdrawn from the pageant.
But she can't. She can't quit now.
She just did.
Salomonius tries to announce the runner-up who will take her crown, but the girls keep stepping forward to quit thanks to all they've learned from Xena. Oh, and Miss Massini's boyfriend has this cute moment.
You heard her. She wants to quit. You got a problem with that?
No, sir.
Guess who gets the crown? That's right, it's Miss Artifice. So here she is, your Miss Known World. Go on, clap.
You are something else.
You have no idea.
Miss Artifice grabs Xena for a victory smooch. And is that a hint of jealousy we see from Gabrielle there? This is a fun, silly, standalone episode and one that I enjoyed a lot as a kid. It's one of those episodes that seems like the cast had a lot of fun making. I especially love getting to see Lucy Lawless and Renee O'Connor show off their comedy skills. The plot doesn't make a ton of sense, but who cares when it's so fun to see Xena trying to be a pageant contestant. Overall, I give it 3 chakrams out of 5. Thank you so much for checking out my video. See you next time.